Summary of Chapter 6, I Become Supreme Lord of the Bathroom. A Guided Tour and Grover's Fate. The chapter opens with Percy Jackson receiving a guided tour of Camp Half-Blood from his Latin teacher turned centaur, Chiron. As they walk past staring campers, Percy notices a shadowy figure moving a curtain in the uppermost window of the farmhouse's attic window. Chiron insists no living thing resides up there, though his forced tone leaves Percy highly skeptical. They tour the expansive strawberry fields which help fund the camp. The fruit grows rapidly due to Dionysus's presence, and satyrs use pipe music to drive away pests. Percy expresses concern for his friend Grover, but Chiron reveals that Grover is facing a harsh judgment from Dionysus and the Council of Cloven Elders. Because Grover lost Percy in New York and failed to bring Sally, his mother, safely over the property line, the council may deny his lifelong dream of obtaining a searcher's license. Chiron further shocks Percy by revealing that Grover is actually 28 years old. Satyrs mature at half the speed of humans, meaning Grover has effectively been a middle schooler for 6 years. Furthermore, this was his second chance, following a catastrophic failure 5 years ago. The Underworld Hope and the 12 Cabins. When Chiron casually avoids using the word death regarding Sally Jackson, a hopeful fire ignites in Percy's mind. He asks if the Greek underworld is real. Chiron somberly confirms that it is, but cryptically warns Percy to put it out of his mind until we know more. Chiron then briefs Percy on the camp's combat activities, including an upcoming Friday night game of Capture the Flag, and promises to fetch him a sword and shield from the camp armory. Chiron leads Percy to the cabins, which are arranged in a large U-shape around a central hearth. There are 12 cabins total, each serving as a mascot-like home for the 12 Olympian gods. Cabins 1 and 2, Zeus and Hera, stand empty because no one ever stays in them. Percy peeks inside cabin 3, a low stone structure built with seashells and coral that smells strongly of the sea at Montauk. The cabin is entirely empty and radiates a profound sense of loneliness. Meanwhile, Cabin 5, Ares, is a loud, aggressive red building lined with barbed wire and a stuffed wild boar's head. Before heading off to teach an archery class, Chiron leaves Percy in the care of Annabeth Chase. He also confirms another massive twist. He is indeed the Chiron from ancient mythology, granted immortality by the gods to train heroes for as long as humanity needs him.
Life in Cabin 11 as undetermined. Annabeth drops Percy off at Cabin 11, which is dedicated to Hermes, the god of travelers. Because Hermes welcomes all travelers, Cabin 11 is vastly overcrowded with campers sleeping in sleeping bags on the floor. Percy introduces himself, and when the campers ask if he is regular or undetermined, Annabeth replies that he is undetermined, prompting a collective groans. Percy meets the head counselor, Luke, a 19-year-old guy with a prominent knife scar running down his face. Luke explains that Percy must stay in the Hermes cabin until he is determined, meaning until his divine parent steps forward to claim him. When Percy asks how long that takes, the other campers laugh, implying it can take a very long time. Annabeth drags Percy outside, where they get into an argument. She explains a vital piece of mythology. Monsters never truly die. They lack souls and are primal forces that eventually reform. This means Mrs. Dodds is still out there and very angry. Annabeth then lists Percy's lifelong symptoms, changing schools frequently, dyslexia, and ADHD, and explains that these are actually the defining traits of a demigod. His dyslexia is because his brain is hardwired for ancient Greek, and his ADHD represents his primal battlefield reflexes. She proves he is a half-blood by noting that a normal mortal would have been killed by the divine foods, ambrosia and nectar, that he was fed during his recovery. The bathroom incident. Their conversation is aggressively interrupted by Clarisse, a tough, mean-looking daughter of the war god Ares. Seeking to haze the newbie, Clarisse taunts Percy and drags him by the hair into the girls' bathroom for an initiation ceremony, while Annabeth watches helplessly from the corner. As Clarisse forces Percy down on his knees to shove his head into a filthy toilet bowl, Percy experiences a sudden, powerful tug in the pit of his stomach. In a spectacular supernatural twist, the plumbing rumbles and water violently blasts out of the toilet, slamming directly into Clarisse's face with the force of a fire hose and wiping her out. The remaining toilets and showers instantly explode, unleashed by Percy's unconscious will. High-powered streams of water sweep Clarice and her friends completely out of the bathroom and into the mud outside. When the water shuts off, the bathroom is completely flooded, and a wet Annabeth stares at Percy in utter shock. In a stunning display of localized water control, Percy is sitting in the only dry spot in the room, completely dry without a single drop of water on his clothes. Percy walks outside and tells a sewage-soaked, vengeful Clarice to close her mouth. Watching the display, Annabeth's shock transforms into calculated interest. She tells Percy, "I'm thinking that I want you on my team for Capture the Flag."